Weekend quarantine kills small business. Due to restrictions set to deal with COVID-19, entrepreneurs are losing profits and are forced to close their establishments. The government, therefore, plans to provide support to Ukrainian businesses. Our journalists have more details.
Weekend quarantine, the first weekend under the new rules, deprived entrepreneurs of a quarter of their turnover. We went to work after the lockdown, which was at the beginning of the quarantine. We are working and trying to restore work. In general, we are not talking about any profit. Weekends bring the most profit when we make obligatory payments at the beginning of the week. If we don't work for so long, it will lead to a massive bankruptcy. In order to stay afloat, restaurants and cafes were allowed to work on weekends, but either for takeout or with delivery home. But even in these conditions, entrepreneurs barely managed to make ends meet. We worked only on the takeaway. Of course, on weekends there are more customers because we work in a residential district and people come here for pizza with children because on weekends they work. Working on weekends would much better for us. Private entrepreneurs from Dnipro boycotted weekend quarantine. On Saturday and Sunday, restaurants and cafes were open as usual. We decided that we will continue working and we invited everyone. Moreover, we had some kind of banquet or some pre-orders in advance that people have already paid for and food has already been purchased. We have not cancelled anything. Mayors of Cherkasy, Lviv, Ternopil, Rivne, Odessa, Mykolaiv, Lutsk, Kramatorsk, Slovyansk and Mukachevo opposed to new rules. Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal held an online meeting with local authorities and said the government is trying to find a balance between saving the country from coronavirus and business from bankruptcy. People are at home on weekends and do not create a large flow and crowds. The high earnings of the industries on Saturday and Sunday are just proof of the fact that the huge numbers of people spend time on the food and entertainment industry. Today we have a number of tools that have proven themselves in the spring. We are also working on developing new programs. We have up to 7 instruments we are going to introduce this week to support the industries that suffer the most. Amid protests of private entrepreneurs, the Verkhovna Rada is planning to consider a decree on the abolition of the weekend quarantine this week.
On the contrary, we must support all those who work, earn money, pay taxes and provide for their own families. That is why I propose to consider a new bill this week. It is going to help.
President Volodymyr Zelensky called the introduction of weekend quarantine the right step. At an online meeting, he was informed that thanks to the innovation, it was possible to reduce movement and contacts between Ukrainians. Reported by Nick Starkov, Artem Golub, Kyiv, UATV News.